Target stock decimated, Ford cutting more jobs, Ram to release an EV, and millennials not having kids. Tonight, I'm going to share some news headlines that really caught my attention. Target shares plunge 20% after discounter cuts forecast and posts biggest earnings miss in 2 years. Well, so much for a healthy economy. It's pretty clear to me that American consumers are struggling financially. Many are struggling in this higher interest rate environment. Most people rely on credit to survive, and that is becoming more difficult to do. Then there are the layoffs. A lot of businesses are cutting back. I think the layoffs we have heard about this past year may be the tip of the iceberg. I don't think this is good news about Target. It's not just retailers who are struggling, though. McDonald's sales fell globally by 1.5% in the most recent quarter. I read a story today that said McDonald's is preparing a 2025 McValue offering. They will be keeping their $5 value meal and introducing a buy one, add one option. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out for McDonald's. Many people are frustrated by the direction McDonald's has been going in recent years. Here's some bad news about Ford. Apparently, they are going to be cutting 4,000 jobs in Europe by the end of 2027 because of the economy and weak EV sales. I'm sorry to hear about this. My heart goes out to these workers and their families. I think Ford invested way too much money in an EV future. In my opinion, they should get back to their heritage. Build a car that everyday people want and can afford, just like Henry Ford did. Here's another interesting headline I saw today. Business spending on AI surged 500% this year to $13.8 billion. I have to wonder when this AI hype train is going to slow down. So many people have gone all in on AI. I'm not saying it isn't impressive. I just think all of the hype surrounding AI reminds me of the run-up to the dot-com bust in the late 1990s. Here's a scary story I saw today on Fox Business. 82% of shoppers have faced some type of fraud, such as package and identity theft. Ah, the porch pirates. I have never had this happen to me. I suppose this could be a problem in some areas, though. Fortunately, I've never had my identity stolen. I hope I never do. I'm pretty selective about where I shop and who I do business with. Now, I saw an interesting story today about the first all-electric Ram pickup truck being released next year. I have to wonder if this will resonate with Ram buyers. Many truck owners love big gas engines. I hope Stellantis is making the right move here. I certainly wouldn't want one. Here's an interesting headline from the LA Times. Trump confirms deportation strategy will include national emergency declaration and the military. When I read this, it made me wonder how extreme this could get. If you've ever seen the 1998 movie called The Siege, the government declares martial law and uses the military to take over New York City while hunting down terrorists. It got pretty crazy in that movie. Of course, that's Hollywood, but that film popped into my head when I read this news headline today. I read another interesting story on ZeroHedge.com about a Goldman trader who declared Walmart a winner as the trade-down phenomenon crushes Target and Dollar General. Well, it's great that consumers have options. I hate to hear about the financial struggles that Dollar General and Target have been experiencing recently. With that said, I wish Walmart didn't rely so heavily on imports for their business model. It would be nice if they would sell more American-made products. Of course, this likely wouldn't generate anywhere close to the same profit margins. There was another interesting story today on ZeroHedge.com about the founder of Jersey Mike's, who is now worth $7 billion after selling the chain to Blackstone. Well, good for him. I'm glad he was able to cash out. I hope he enjoys the money and does something to help humanity with it. Companies like Blackstone and BlackRock keep buying up everything. It's really been impressive to watch. On the topic of Trump, I saw a news story today that said Melania Trump won't make the White House her next home base as First Lady. She plans to stay in Trump Tower in New York City. Well, my friends, I guess some people just prefer to live in a gold-plated penthouse as opposed to a mansion in Washington, D.C. I'm curious, where would you prefer to live? Tell me about it in the comment section below. There was an interesting story today on MoneyWise about Americans ages 44 to 59 who are speeding towards retirement and in big financial trouble. Well, no shocker here, my friends. I've been talking about this for a while. Many people in this generation don't have a pension. Many haven't been able to set aside money in a 401k plan. Others have set money aside, but nothing significant. Many are going to be ill-prepared to navigate old age. I think this is going to be a big problem for a lot of Americans, especially those who aren't going to inherit any kind of significant wealth. Now, here was an interesting story from Go Banking Rates. Millennials born between 1981 and 1996 are not having kids. Well, I'm not shocked to hear about this. The cost to have a child is astronomical, even if you have health insurance. Then you have all of the expenses to raise a child. And many young kids today want to maintain a certain style and own certain electronic gadgets that their friends have. Even if you have a frugal child, many schools require expensive supplies to be purchased each year. Then there is food. That isn't getting any cheaper at the grocery store. Let's not forget about healthcare throughout the years. Many kids get injured, and an emergency room visit isn't cheap. Now, here's an interesting story that I read. This was on USA Today. The IRS raises 401k contribution limits and adds a super catch-up for people who are 60 to 63 in the year 2025. The deferral limit for a 401k, 403b, or 457 will be $23,500 in 2025, and people who are 50 and up will be able to have a catch-up contribution of $7,500. Those who are 60 to 63 can contribute $11,250 instead of $7,500. Well, this is great, but many Americans won't ever be able to max out their retirement contributions. They are doing their best to live paycheck to paycheck. This is the grim reality for many families. Some of this is due to lifestyle choice, but some of this is due to the fact that wages have not kept pace with inflation. There are plenty of Americans who aren't contributing anything to a retirement plan because they simply can't afford to do so. Others are contributing, but it isn't anything meaningful. I have to wonder why the catch-up contribution for people between 50 and 62 stayed at $7,500 in 2025. With all the inflation we've had, raise it up to at least $8,000 in 2025. Why keep it the same as 2024? I'd love to know the IRS's logic behind this one. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.